Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the Warrior Up Podcast, episode 4. I'm here at Orange Beach and I wanted to jump in here today and kind of share what the Lord put on my heart when I had a quiet time with Him this morning, and my son came out to kind of have an early morning with his dad. So, I was kind of struggling what I wanted to share today in this podcast, and the Lord laid on my heart that I need to recognize, and you need to recognize, our influence. So, what does that mean? God has put us in certain areas of life. He's put people in our path, both in our larger picture path, meaning our family, employees, bosses, different friends and things of that nature, and then also in a kind of short-term path, meaning the people you run into day to day. And so we need to recognize our influence and appreciate that, the impact that we're going to have on people's life, and to be really intentional about it. So that's what we need to be doing. I need to be doing it. You need to be doing it. And I think that, most of the time we don't do very well with it, at least speaking for myself. It's only after the fact that I recognize that, man, I missed an opportunity there. So I guess the real reason why this is so important is because, one, God, I think, is intentional with how He does that. I think that He places us, nothing's arbitrary, basically. He places us in paths and courses of life that He wants us to have the maximum amount of impact. And the only way we can do that is in Him, obviously. We can't really strive in our own power to do that, because this is a divine thing. This is a God thing. And we have to recognize it's a God thing. And if we can take that opportunity to do that, I think we'll find one more fulfillment. Selfishly, we'll find more fulfillment because we're operating in our purpose. We're walking according to the calling, not even the big calling, but a small calling, the daily calling. And then two, we'll get to see the fruits in other people, potentially, especially in those that are really close to us. Now, we're not going to see that in people that, for the most part, that we run into and just kind of bump into throughout the day, week, months, years of our lives. But those that we get to see growth and we can see a trajectory of their life, I think we're going to get a chance to really see that impact. And so we have to be kind of intentional about it. So let's talk about what that looks like if we don't do that. I think that just like anything, when you set something along a path that has a certain end result it's going to go to, and if we don't maximize our influence, then there's a little bit of chaos that can ensue, especially those that we have a lot of influence over, those that we, like our children, our employees, certain people that maybe look to us as mentors or counselors. I think we have an obligation to that. And if we don't do that, then we run the risk of them taking a trajectory that wouldn't be the best, wouldn't be maximized. And so it's real important that we do this. So, and then those times that we do it, I think that we're going to come alongside and partner with God in that, as long as that's our intention. If it's for His glory and for His purpose, and understanding that this is an opportunity that's been given to us, a calling and a gift, then we're going to be able to do that. And so we start to look at our lives as not happening to us, but being in conjunction and partnering with. And there's no chaos to it. There's an order to the chaos, that everything happens for a reason, that all things do work for the good of those who are called, who love God and are called according to His purpose. And that purpose is these divine appointments and divine interactions and influences He gives us. So how can we use this? How can we do this? How can we make this a part of our daily routine? I think, first of all, we have to recognize it, obviously. Second, we have to be kind of aware of the opportunities. We have to be able to look out for them. We cannot just be walking flippantly through life, looking at 1 inch in front of our nose, but we have to actually see opportunities that are presented to us, no matter how small or great. Then we need to be intentional with them and look for opportunities to really influence, especially for the kingdom, especially in character development, especially in wise counsel and guidance. um, extending God's grace and love. And that's not always like, kissing somebody's boo-boos or patting them on the head. It's really being really in their camp and for them and for their future and for their situations. Sometimes that's active, sometimes that's passive in nature. We need to be purposeful. We need to think about the big picture of why, ask ourselves why this person in this situation has been placed within our path and influence and impact. And I think in asking ourselves why, I think we can figure out how we can maximize that. And so I think that intentionality is key to all this. I think most men don't do that. I think they walk 2 inches in front of their face or look 2 inches in front of their face. They go moment by moment in their life, not considering the ends from the beginnings. And in doing that, I think that they seriously miss their opportunity. I mean, you got to think, we can't just view talents, the parable Jesus taught, as being one monetary or some sort of gifting, but really those opportunities that we're to double up on, we're to show an increase. Ultimately, God increases things, but we are to be the willing vessels for that use. And I think that what's next for us in that area is that we have to, one, commit this type of philosophy and mindset to the Lord, be prayerful in it, asking to be able to see those opportunities and more opportunities to be given. And then if we fail in those, obviously receiving his forgiveness, receiving his grace and empowerment to go on and push forward to the next opportunity, or potentially go back and fix the one that we screwed up somehow. I think that's probably a 1, 2, 3, 4 to this whole situation of being very intentional and seeing those opportunities that come our way to influence others for his glory, because that's what we're designed for. Ultimately, we're designed for his glory, and we're to fight for that glory. And that comes in many forms, especially day-to-day walking. All right, guys, so we need to recognize our opportunities. We need to see that they're put there for a reason. It's not just haphazard or arbitrary in nature. God has a divine plan and a purpose since that he laid from the foundations of the world, that we have been given opportunity. We're going to be given opportunity, and we're to maximize them. We're to take every opportunity captive, every thought captive, and make it subject to Christ and his lordship. We can do that by being intentional, committing to the Lord, being held accountable, letting somebody know that this is what our intentions are going to be, that we're from here forward going to try to be this person, this impactful influencer of those that have been put in our path, those situations and circumstances and personnel that have been put in our path. And then obviously seek the Lord in all things, commit to the Lord, and he'll direct our steps. He will direct our paths because ultimately he's the one that shows the increase. We're just the vessels of that. All right, guys, I hope this edified you. I hope it encouraged you. I pray that it helps you stay in the fight for God and his glory. Remember, guys, as always warrior up. Step up, don't step back, step down. God be with you. Peace.